The difference between 500,000 and 800,000 in Reno is not what you think. And once you cross into that $1 million range, the strategy changes completely. Because most buyers assume more money equals a better house. And that's not how this market works. In some cases, you're not upgrading the house. You're upgrading the location, the lot, or the lifestyle. And if you don't understand that going in, it's going to make it really easy to misallocate your budget. So I'm going to break this down in a very real way. What you actually get at 500,000, 800,000, and 1.2 million in Reno right now. And more importantly, how you look at each price point so you make the right decision. And as you're watching this, keep your budget in mind, because where you fall in this will completely change your options. Before we get into numbers, you need to understand this. Every price point in Reno is a trade-off. You're always choosing between location, home condition, size, lot, age of home, and you don't get all of them unless you're at a much higher price point. Instead of asking, what do I get? You should be asking, what am I willing to prioritize? That's how you win in this market. Let's start around 500K. This is where a lot of buyers come in thinking, I should really be able to get something solid. And you can, but here's what that usually looks like. Older homes or more basic finishes, smaller square footage, much smaller lots, or locations further out from central Reno. You might find something updated, but if you do, it's likely smaller or not in the most central or ideal location. So this price point becomes a balancing act. Do you want better location and compromise on the home, or better home and compromise on the location? That's the real decision at 500,000. And this is where a lot of buyers get frustrated, because on paper, 500,000 feels like it should go much further. But in Reno, this is a very competitive entry-level price range. If you're around that price point, what matters more to you now? Location or the house itself? Because that answer is going to drive everything. Now, let's move into the 800,000 range. This is where buyers expect a major jump. And there is a jump, but not always in the way people think. At 800,000, you're typically getting more updated homes, better layouts, newer construction options, and more desired neighborhoods in certain areas. But here's the key. You're not necessarily getting everything. You're getting more options, and that's the difference. At 500,000, you're working around some limitations. At 800,000, you start having more choices, but you still have to prioritize. You might find a great house in a slightly less convenient location, or a more modest home in a prime location. This is where buyers start to shift emotionally. They expect it to feel high-end, and sometimes it doesn't, because Reno's pricing is heavily tied to demand and location, not just upgrades and finishes. The biggest upgrade here isn't always the house. It's flexibility. You have more control over where you live, what type of home you choose, how much you compromise. And that's a big deal. Now, once you cross into the 1 million range, everything changes. Not just the homes, but the way you should be thinking. At 1.2 million, you're typically getting significantly better locations, larger homes, high-end finishes, better lots or views depending on the area. But more importantly, you have the ability to align your home with your lifestyle more precisely. This is where buyers can start saying, I want this type of home in this area with these features, and actually find it. But here's the mistake I see at this level. People still shop like they're in the 800,000 range. They focus only on the house instead of stepping back and asking, what do I want my lifestyle to look like? Because at 1.2 million, you're not just buying the house, you're buying a full experience. So where are you falling right now? Closer to 500,000, 800,000, or 1.2 million? Drop it in the comments. I want to see where most people watching this are landing. Let's simplify this. At 500,000, you're managing constraints. At 800,000, you're gaining options. At 1.2 million, you're refining lifestyle. That's real progression, not just Bigger house, nice finishes. It's more control over how you live, all 3 price points. They stretch their budget for the house, but ignore the location, or they lock into a location without fully thinking through the home. And long-term, both matter, but lifestyle always wins because you don't just live in your house, you live in your day-to-day routine. If you're trying to decide where to land in this range, here's how I would think about it. Step 1, define your non-negotiables. Not a long list, 2 or 3 things that actually matter. Step 2, understand what those priorities cost in Reno, because the same budget can get you very different outcomes depending on what you're optimizing for. Step 3, be honest about your trade-offs, because every price point has them. Quick reality check. If you could only pick 2, what would they be? Location, size, condition, lot? You don't get all 4 at every price point, and that's the game. The biggest shift you can make as a buyer here is this. Stop thinking in terms of price alone. Start thinking in terms of outcomes. What kind of a life do you want here? Then reverse engineer the price point that supports it. That's how you avoid overpaying for the wrong thing, or underbuying and regretting it later. If you want more breakdowns like this on specific neighborhoods, price points, and what actually makes sense depending on your situation, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're trying to figure out what your budget actually gets you based on how you want to live, drop your situation in the comments or reach out. I'll help you map it out the right way.